saw them play last time?
Hard to say. there's lots of stuff, you know, there's always small adjustments you can make. So it's hard to say, you know, at what point, like, what's more efficient, what's working well, what could be improved upon.
Well, this is definitely an adjustment. ShadowFox, despite being so good with his Cloud in winners, is opting for Ness here in losers.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, I guess he's looking at these characters, and he's really worried about their ability to exploit Cloud via really good edge guards.
Yeah, and they did just beat the team with Cloud on it in the match prior.
That's true. Only a couple of factors going into it.
Ooh, very dangerous situation their side, being through that bowling ball.
Blue, it's not a good look for them. Quarantined onto that platform. Didn't have all that much control of the stage for a while. F smash attempt. Oh!
Yeah, I think it was going to be a little bit too late for it. So.
Second shot here. And again, we're seeing Light flubbing some of these punishes. Is it because he's not getting the right read on DI? Okay. So if that was literally anybody other than Villager, I mean, he was
right,
like 90.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, Villager does not care. But yeah, I imagine a lot of that. The footstool a little bit too far off stage. But yeah, whenever a Zero Suit has you pushed into the ground like that, so obviously you can mash to get out of it faster. So there is some variability in the timing that they're going to break out on, especially if your opponent, like clever opponents, will they'll match a little bit and then see kind of gauge your reactions and stop matching and see if you they can try and bait you out to do something. So it can be kind of hard sometimes covering that pop out. Villager throwing the kitchen sink at, at Fox there from off stage. Side B, forward air, forward air.
Actually touching on Villager, Krebs, he's playing stock tech, and he might actually take a stock here. Oh!
Oh, man, nearly fully charged up smash there, though.
Pretty tough for Blue here. The big factor, of course, Krebs still at 3. And unlike in some of these other games that we've seen him in, it feels like he's been able to put up these projectiles relatively uncontested. And whenever Light gets these moments like here, when he's getting these offstage options.
No. We only got 2.
I mean, what did Light hit him with? Like 2 backers, I could have staged spiked. He hit him with an actual spike earlier on.
Yeah.
Krebs just will not die. It's ridiculous.
That's covered by Tatto, finding that up air.
And I'm glad that he didn't decide to turn around on the boost kick instead. Just taking using those hitboxes, pushing Krebs away a bit longer. The longer that they can keep Krebs, I think, away, or just with these little, not like constantly putting pressure on him, but just a little here, a little there. I think that's whenever they're going to be able to shut down Krebs and prevent him from really being able to carry out his projectile-oriented game that we've seen from him. Right, good up tilt from Krebs. Light is just so desperate to get this kill that he's falling into pretty much whatever Krebs is throwing out. Krebs is doing a great job on the reactionary game in the punishes, while Light will be losing his last stock.
Yeah, we've seen that a decent amount, just Light trying to go too far off stage. He got footstooled earlier on in this game. Okay, nice catch, getting his gyro back in his hands.
That's a super powered hydrant right there.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. I like setting up the tree there, actually covering that side B distance.
Oh, that's a second hydrant. That pressure is pretty intense. Now, how do you feel about Fox in the 2v1?
I don't know. Fox is pretty mobile, but he leaves himself pretty vulnerable off stage, and he's pretty fragile if you actually get your hands on him because he's so light. So, yeah, I feel like if his opponents are both at really high percent, if you can get one kill confirm and bring it back to 1v1, he's in a pretty good shape, but otherwise, I don't know. Seems like it'd be pretty hard.
It's like a battle of the frame data versus the weight attributes, you know?
Right, yeah. Yeah, like a lot of Fox's extended stuff is like up air combos, which don't really send your opponent very far left or right, so it's not too difficult to disrupt those. So I feel like he loses out on some of his damage potential in the 1v2. Unless he can grab his opponent and throw him away and then hit the other one with a combo. He's usually not going to get the huge damage strings you might see from him in singles.
And Light with the swap now to Corrin. A bit of an interesting pick. Corrin in general does a really good job of controlling much of the stage and outranging most folks, but at times can struggle with some of these more projectile-oriented characters like Villager. Do you have any thoughts on the switch to Corrin?
Yeah, I do think it's a pretty good pick versus Ness. A lot of so like Ness is very scary in the air with his forward airs with up airs, and it's pretty hard to slip by Corrin in the air. It's a very tricky movement there with light, and just barely evading the bowling ball. But yeah, Corrin controls the air very well, as you mentioned. The forward air up airs are going to chew through all of Ness's stuff, and it's going to be a little bit harder for him to slip through that. You often see Ness do against other characters just because he has such good air control. His air dodge is pretty good as well.
And he certainly has that counter as well. Krebs is going to be thinking twice if he's going to be laying out any of those turnips near the ledge. Somehow in the fray, ShadowFox managed to lose his stock. Did you see how that turned out?
I think he may have just fallen off stage, honestly. I saw him go dipped in the bottom left and start an up B, but I think he was too low afterwards.
Now, while Corrin has really amazing range, that can be a double-edged sword in teams. You have to be so aware of your teammate, where they are, and whether or not they're going to be eclipsed by that coverage.
Pretty sneaky side B there from Light, actually, kind of in the leaves of the tree as he's starting up that lance.
Yeah, that was the naked snake combo, you know?
Yeah, that ninja attack.
Oh yeah, we're just using the environment to plan everything. Perfect. And overall, the swap seems like it's working out.
Yeah.
You know, Krebs and ShadowFox, this is going to be a game where they're going to need to probably find some downloads as Light finds another big KO here. Downward angle on that F smash, putting a little bit of butter on it as well. He's closing out that stock so quickly on ShadowFox.
Oh, Light getting a little bit too close to that fray, though. Took a lot of damage for it.
And he's looking to counter the PK Thunder too. We're seeing some adjustments from ShadowFox, no longer going straight for the ledge, rather trying to recover high. But again, if Light just starts mixing that up, well, I guess it doesn't really even matter. Krebs accidentally taking a stock from his teammate with that bowling ball.
Yeah, and some unfortunate friendly fire. That situation does just happen sometimes in teams whenever you're like, oh, well, I'll just use a smash attack, and then your opponent just happens to hit your teammate into the animation of the move. Like, they're clearly, not anywhere close to being in range from it. But.
Yeah, it's the pessimistic fortune cookie.
And beware of those around you.
Yeah. Krebs trying to fight his way back onto the stage. Meanwhile, we're seeing ShadowFox just trying to stay alive here and try to at least hold some real estate for his teammate.
Nice coverage at the up tilt. That will take the stock off. Red team still fighting from behind.
Focusing in right now on ShadowFox. He's going to get the KO with the up air and find the equalizer from a stock standpoint, but we're looking at the percentages, and they are so heavily in favor of blue here.
Yeah. Yeah, unless something really drastic happens. Looking like it's probably going to be blue team's game.
Light knows one of those up airs onto Krebs would take that last stock from him. Meanwhile, ShadowFox. Oh,
a little bit too high on the counter,
and beyond that,
a little bit too low for the up B.
That's so tough.
That's what a swing.
Such a huge play from Krebs. And wow, I just realized that was game two.
That was game two. That was their game to finish the set.
It was just those two moments. One mistake from Light, and just Krebs with a monstrous combo. Let's go ahead and see that one more time. Starting off with the down air, into the nair, into the back air. Oh,
that was pretty. very pretty.
Honestly, that was Renai-esque.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah. So beautiful. So Houstonites staying alive with that 2-0. It looked, honestly, I thought we were going into game 3.
Definitely, yeah. Like there was